Hello, my name is Kid Cabello, one of the co-founders of Veracity In Defiance. I'm here with Mr. Joe Walsh. Now, as a radio personality, as a former political figure, what is your stance on the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and are you for and against it?
Against it. These trade deals that we've been enacting are against the American worker. We got to think of the American worker first. I don't give a damn about the rest of the world right now. And we've got Republicans and Democrats in D.C. that are putting the interests of the rest of the world ahead of what's best for our workers.
It seems, though, that the established RNC and DNC
are
really going forward for this, specifically the Obama administration, Republican leaders. And as a former political figure, how do you feel about the DNC and RNC establishments working to get this thing passed, even though it's been tabled at the moment?
Hey, this is why Bernie did so great, and this is why Trump's the nominee. There's one political party in D.C. Republican establishment, Democrat establishment. When it comes to big business, they're twins. They're the same party. So they both worship at the altar of big business. There's no difference between the two. Bernie knew that, and Trump saw that.
Now, clearly there's a huge rage by the average American citizen against the established RNC and DNC politics. And there's a movement that can be theoretically said that people are more going to libertarians, green parties, socialists to a lesser extent. And as someone who's been involved in politics and someone who's also in media, do you think in the midterm 20 elections that we'll actually see a rise in third-party candidates actually getting seats at the state and federal level?
I think you're going to see some crazy stuff. I think the Republican Party could be done. I think you could see a viable third party or a fourth party. This is just the beginning. Bernie was right and Trump's right. There is a revolution coming. We don't know what it's going to look like yet.
All right. Now, from that standing point, there's two third-party candidates that are right now coming up. That's Gary Johnson of the Libertarian Party and Dr. Jill Stein of the Green Party. Your opinion on them running, and where do you think the chances are of actually being on a debate stage and on all the ballots?
Probably not. I mean, the threshold, I think, is 15%. That should be lower, by the way. It should be 10%, maybe even lower than that. So both Stein and Johnson can get on. I think the more candidates up on stage, the better.
Okay. But let's say hypothetically they are on and they're still being denied, because obviously the corporate media is trying to say that they're going to take away key votes and Trump and Clinton are going to be denied certain votes. Do you think that's a fair statement for the media to make, or even established figures to say that Jill Stein and Gary Johnson are going to take away votes from Trump and Clinton?
No, because, and again, I said there's one party, there's one country club. Big media, big business, and both political party establishments belong to the same club. So they all have an interest in making sure it's just Trump and Hillary up there. Again, this is just the beginning. The American people are finally wising up to this bull crap.
Now, right now the media is presumptively saying that Clinton is going to win. Now, some of the polling data has Trump winning, Clinton winning. Do you think this election, let's say it's just only going to be Clinton versus Trump, do you think it's going to bring out the best in American politics, or will we just see probably the most divisive election in U.S. history?
No, it's divisive, but it should be divisive because we're going through a revolution. The American people are finally getting up off their asses and they're waking up. So it's going to get ugly and divisive. It should be. And I think it's going to come right down to the wire. I think Trump's got a great shot to win. If it were Bernie against Trump, that would have been a hell of a race.
Right. Some of the polling data had Bernie Sanders beating Trump, and then there's also talk of Clinton saying that she's going to beat Trump. But according to some of the recent data, she's struggling to beat him in some key states. What do you think that means for the DNC? Did they make a gamble in selecting him or selecting her as a Democratic nominee?
Yeah, they screwed up. She's probably the most unlikable, most untrustworthy candidate we've ever had, and a lot of Democrats are wising up to that.
This will be my last question.
Okay.
All right. Hillary Clinton, her potential administration. What concerns you as a former political figure and as someone who's in media? What concerns you about a potential Clinton administration?
She'll be the least transparent president we've had, and I think that's bullshit. She won't hold press conferences, and she won't answer to you and I. That should bother all of us.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks.